Alright, everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to The King's Speech. So we're playing catch up with some Shonen Jump again today. So today we're getting around to last week's chapter of Akane Banashi as well as the new chapter of Kaiju that just dropped. Tomorrow we'll get to the new chapter of Spy Family as well as this week's chapter of Akane Banashi. Read-through should hopefully be back by next weekend, especially since I now have some unexpected free time that's opening up in July, potentially August as well, but we'll see when we get to that. So because of that, like I said, I will hopefully read-throughs will make a strong return in the next month or so. So with that said, if you all enjoyed my content, please do consider liking, commenting, subscribing, all that good stuff. Recently managed to get a couple of more subscribers, so I'm finally over that 160 subscriber hump, and I'm only 8 more away from the magical number of 169. So if you'd like to help me reach that, that would be greatly appreciated. But without further ado, let's dive into it with Kaiju No.8, Chapter 88 by Naoya Matsumoto, with translation by David Evelyn, lettering by Brandon Bovia. So we see Isao in the gym just bench pressing on a weight machine, lifting some weights. And you have Keiji coming in with, well, this is rare. I never thought I'd find someone as rigid as you training at this hour. And it sounds like it's nothing. He's like, could it be that you feel like Narumi's going to surpass you? You see his eye just like twitching a little bit. He's like, and you're feeling the heat? He's like, there's such a thing as being too perceptive, Itami. And he's like, heh. It's like, Gen Narumi. Countless tardies and absences, kicked out of his platoon 8 times for infractions and insubordination. A problem child on the verge of being discharged entirely. However, judging by how you're acting, his skills must be the real deal. And it sounds like, I'm positive he'll be a central part of the first division, but he still lacks experience when it comes to winning and losing. It's imperative that I continue to be the wall that stands in his way. I can't put on a shameful display, not until that idiot becomes legitimate. And you have Itami going, are you watching, Isao? The seed you planted has sprouted and bloomed into a legitimate flower. And you see like the little mini explosions and stuff, cuts from where Narumi hit the kaiju last time. And you see as it's being cut apart and disintegrated, he's like, how do you like that, you lousy old man? Did that put a little tear in your stupid eye? He thinks of Isao just sitting there with his fingers interlocked, just completely unenthused, unfazed. He just flops down with a thud and damn it. This guy can't even picture what a tear in your eye would look like. And you see bloody Kokoru as well. You have meanwhile at Chofu Airport, and you see Hoshina clashing with the other kaiju with both their blades. You see Bish like there's slices showing up all around his armor on his face. And you have a bam as he gets sent flying back with a number 2's a cross slasher. You see that it's intercepted by the other kaiju's one, which deflects back onto him and cuts him instead. And God, what was researcher girl's name? I know it starts with an O, but I cannot for the life of me remember what it was. Come on. Okanogi, that was it. And you see Okanogi going, I've never seen this before. Vice Captain Hoshina is taking on a miniature class kaiju, and he's losing? And you see power, speed, combat abilities, like he's just blocking with like his arm as the kaiju's laying into him. He's a combat ability. It outshines number 10 in every way. It's like no doubt about it. And you see, is that the old number 10? Is that the new one? It's like the old number 10. It's like this thing is, and he thinks back to number 10 telling him, I'm his prototype. It's like this thing is, and he just coming up behind him and just slams him into the ground with the finished product. Ooh, and you see the force of the blow when it went down shattered his blades. Man, that was a very short chapter. Yeah, very, very short. Damn, it just felt like it was mostly action-packed in the latter half, so I guess that's why. But again, thoughts really haven't changed too much since the last couple of stuff. Like I mentioned, thoughts are really unlikely to change significantly until this arc ends, unless there is a significant upset or surprise in store for us, which I doubt highly. So yeah, I'm going to still be a little bit of a bummer. I don't know. like we're getting like the background between like Isao and Narumi, and kind of showcasing like the respect that they both had for each other and the admiration that Narumi had for Isao, etc., etc. But I feel like without having really known more about Narumi's past, like why he joined the Defense Force, all that stuff, I feel like kind of just playing on his admiration for Isao doesn't really do anything for me emotionally. Like, it's not getting me invested in seeing Narumi surpass his limits to take out the kaiju and come out on top and be like, I finally beat my limits. Like, it's not really getting me emotionally invested in that. Oh, so coupled with the fact, I was kind of expecting, given how this started and the fact I was expecting the Defense Force to go through a loss, it kind of gets undercut a little bit even more, seeing Narumi being like, oh, look at me now, going through like the typical Shonen Jump thing of like, oh, I surpassed my limits here and now, like I got so much better. It really doesn't land with the impact I think it's supposed to land with, which is a shame. But nothing really you can do about that at this point, given how everything's playing out. But yeah, biggest shame again, like given the kaiju designs, given how they were introduced, it's a little bit disappointing that on their first outing they're being dealt with so mercilessly. But I guess we'll have to wait and see like where it goes after this. I feel like to kind of fully pass judgment on it. So wait and see until then. But yeah, fortunately none of this stuff really does anything to me. Like Narumi being like, well, did you see me, Dad? It's like, all right, fine. You're going through the motions, but nothing's really landing. It's the same with Hoshina. Like again, seeing Hoshina being like pushed back by number 10, with the whole thing of like, oh, it's his prototype, with Okanogi being like, oh my god, I've never seen him losing to a miniature class kaiju, even with his swords breaking. None of that really fills me with like a sense of foreboding or dread of being like, oh, like, oh my god, how is he gonna get through this? Like there's no sense of any of that in this chapter, which again kind of undercuts the impact of like the final climactic like shot of this like is the broken knife blade just kind of like getting broken off and falling. Like it doesn't really land with the impacts. We know he'll pull some technique out of his butt. He'll find a way to surpass number 10. He'll overcome the limit. He'll be pushed to his limits. He'll find some new technique to pull out. So it's going to be typical shonen stuff. But again, I expected better from Kaiju number 8. So it's a little bit disappointing we're getting the kind of rote stuff over this. But yeah, hopefully this arc will wrap up relatively soon. We can get some more newer and interesting stuff. But we'll see. So like always, like I mentioned at the beginning, if you like my content, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I said, I'm very close to my new goal. Like I said, more Shonen Jump content coming your way tomorrow. So until next time, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.